Hello, welcome. So tonight I'm going to share with you a sketchbook that I made for my son. Here it is. I used just my Winsor & Newton set of paints and a couple of Princeton brushes, and I made this book for him. I actually bound this book myself, cut all the pieces of paper from bigger sheets. I'll tell you about that in just a second, but my son loves mechanical things, like many kids growing up. And he recently saw a picture of a trebuchet and kind of went crazy bonkers about it. So I wanted to paint for him a whole bunch of these old kind of machines for him. So I made this sketchbook and I put in a whole bunch, I think I have 9 pages of old siege engines, old just mechanical looking things here. So here it is. Before I get to everything, you can see this is a catapult, obviously. Before I get to everything, I should say I just took big sheets of paper, and not necessarily even the highest quality paper. I totally think he's going to tear these out, and I know he's got a friend that's going to want a couple of these, and he might give them to him. He's pretty generous about stuff like that. But so I didn't do the best binding, but it's totally enough that'll hold together. So what I did was I cut the sheets of paper out from a larger sheet of paper and made them the size I wanted, and then threw on some cardboard covers. And in order to get all the pages to stick right, I just put a piece of tape, half on here, glued it or taped it together. I went to the next side, half tape here, and just built the whole book. And when it was done, I put some painter's tape, wrapped it around, a little on this side, a lot on that side, the next layer, a little on this side, a lot on that side, and then put on one big fat layer on each side, just to make it look nice and kind of symmetrical. And what I came out with was this nice little book. The pages are in there pretty snug. You could easily take them out, but they're not going to fall out at all. You can tug on them and do whatever. So I thought that was a nice way to make the book. So that's all the backstory about my book. So let's take a look at the pictures. So I wanted to start with some basic things. Everybody knows what a catapult looks like. So I just went online and found a bunch of pictures of catapults and took from this picture and from that picture the things I thought were kind of neat about it, and drew up my own little machine. Here it is. Catapult. Got a winding mechanism here, the string that holds the bucket, a big weight on this end, and that's it. No release mechanism or anything. The being technically correct, I don't think is going to matter. My son is 9. Not going to be a big deal for him. And then just give it kind of a graded wash up there. Let me zoom you back in so you can see a little bit better. So I've got a catapult, and I've got a trebuchet, and here you can see it with a big weight up on the top. It falls down, the arm swings over, and again, just a nice graded wash going up there. There's that. And of course, if you have the fixed point trebuchet, you need to have the floating point or floating arm trebuchet. And here's my version of it. Simple. The weight falls down. The wheels catch on this rail. That forces the arm up and throws the ball away. Perfect. And just, I guess I have light that comes in this direction, so I just kind of put a little bit of shading on there. After that is a ballista. It's like a giant crossbow. Some stands for it to stand on, and the arms of the crossbow here. This happens to be a torsion ballista, I guess, if you're wanting to know anything about it. It's got these ropes that are all wound up here. That's kind of neat. This picture happens to be my favorite one in the book. The Battering Ram, right? A couple of triangles with some wheels on it, and this giant weighted arm that just swings and bashes into things. So I had fun painting the chain and the shadow on here. Anyways, and again, you know, it looks nice for a 9-year-old. He totally dug this when I gave this to him. And yes, I had to steal this back from him so I could make the video. But I'll give it back to him as soon as I'm done. You know, I'm not trying to put in the most detail. I'm not trying to make it exactly right, but it looks like a mechanical thing. There's a whole bunch of pieces of wood in there. You can see that they're all stuck together. So I thought that was really cool. And then, so these are the big weapons here. I got into some smaller ones, right? So I did a crossbow for him with some bolts onto the side. Again, just a nice graded wash up there. You can see it's obviously in a cocked position. There's no bolt in it, but the track that it shoots out. And I'm not sure how you load this one. I guess I didn't think that much about it, but I guess you'd put this end down and put your foot through there and pull the bowstring back and clip it on there. All right, and then I've got a couple of swords in here, right? This one's got a leather wrapped handle. It's black. A couple of fancy blades on there. You know, not anything special, but something to fill out the book here. If you got some swords, you gotta have some battle axes. All right, just 3 different ones, 3 different types of double-headed axe, single one, and a halberd here. I guess I could have labeled those for him, but I think at 9 he's probably not going to care about the names of them. He just wants to see the pictures. And last of all, I guess what you would use are your bow and arrow. So I just got him a couple of those, and that's it, really. And you can see here the tape binding, which just holds it on. And you know, I'm twisting it up here. It's going to hold well enough, but that's it. This is my book of medieval weaponry. That it's just kind of mechanical, cool stuff that I thought he would like to look at, and I know that he's going to love showing this off to his friends when they come over to visit, or he can take this book over to them. So there you go. This is my little sketchbook I made for my son, just because I wanted to do something nice for him and get him something that I thought he would like and maybe get him interested in watercolors. So there it is. If you like it, give a like to the video, share the video. Maybe you know somebody who would like to see the pictures in here, and just subscribe to my channel. You'll see other cool things like this that I've done. I do actual paintings where you'll see me paint and stuff like that. Lots of cool stuff though, all in watercolors. So come back and see another time, another video. I'd love to see you back here in the studio. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.